are now tuned in to DAR Sports Media, the NFL Draft. We are about to run it back with the running backs. Man, this is going to be a wild one because this is, I think, arguably, right, and we could have a nostalgia hour to fill some time throughout the offseason if we wanted to about this. I think this is arguably the deepest running back draft class possibly ever. My guy Mel Kiper out there, he has 30 running backs with draftable grades. I believe 20 that are in the top 100. Like 20 in one position is absolutely nuts. And it's just an embarrassment of wealth. And to me, that's really affect my thoughts and feelings on where some of these guys should go. Some guys who I feel like are automatically being slotted high because they're good players or were good players in college. But when you think about, how much of a premium some of these other positions are at and how deep this class is, where you're going to be able to get legitimate starters at running back into the 4th, 5th round in this draft. So why would you use a premium pick on one unless for some reason you absolutely love one of these guys? And some people might agree with me, but I don't feel that the top running back in this class is one of those guys. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to be a very good NFL player. I would not begrudge a team a little bit later in the first round, such as the Chiefs, the Bengals, one of those squads taking Ashton Jeanty. I think that he would be a really good, actually finishing touch piece for either one of those teams. But any higher than that, I don't know, man. It's crazy. You could this class, you could probably, every one of us on here, we got 4 on the panel. Every guy could probably pick 3 running backs and it'd be different guys. And we'd probably all be right. That's how insane this running back class is. I guess we'll start off with that going around the panel. What do you guys feel about Ashton Jeanty, where he should slot, what he's going to be as an NFL player? Because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I've seen him. A lot of a popular mock was him going to the Raiders at fucking pick 6, which to me is just absolutely goddamn insane to even think about. But then again, it is the Raiders. So let's see here. Oh, the Los Angeles Chargers would be a beautiful landing spot for Ashton Jeanty at 22. The Steelers at pick 21. Possibly, well, the Bucks, no, they got Bucky last year. He busted out for them. Possibly the Washington Commandos at pick number 29. The Rams. How long is Williams is he gonna last down there? Their running back who emerged out of nowhere. So lots of really logical places for him from 20 to 32. Anything higher than that, I don't know. And I honestly don't know. And this might get some facial expressions here. I don't even know if he's, as far as projected as a long-term NFL star, I don't know if he's my RB1 as far as that goes. Because he isn't the fastest. He took a ton of hits. He has a ton of tread on the tires. Wasn't super involved in the passing game other than, hey, we'll dump it off to you a lot because you're our only good fucking player. I don't know. Doesn't have super top end speed explosiveness. He's not bad. He doesn't have bad explosiveness. He's not slow. He's probably mid 4.4 range, high 4.4. But yeah, I don't know about that, but I see lots of good places for him in the 20s. Tell me, what do you think, man? Is he number 1 with a bullet? Should he go higher than the 20s? What do you think? How would you feel if he ended up on your Washington Commandos over there?
That'd be great, but that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I do think he's the best running back in the class. Like, I mean, if you watch all the running backs in college, I mean, he was clearly the best. I don't even think there was a close two.
But we're talking about who projects to the NFL, man.
Yeah, I think he projects the NFL just fine. Yeah, he has the right. He's at the right size. And you don't have to be the fastest. Like generally, the fastest.
You're right.
Yeah, generally the fastest. Like speed really doesn't help that much. It doesn't really help a lot of players. Like if you think about it, like people run those 40s and stuff. Like sometimes the speed just, doesn't really matter. But I don't know. Genty's just different. Like just being able to withstand 25, 30 carries.
Okay,
it's just enough.
5'8", 210.
Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like withstanding carries in the Mountain West ain't the same as withstanding carries in the AFC North.
I mean, yes, he'll be all right. Like I think 215 is a great weight. Honestly, there's running backs that are in the 180s, 190s getting 15, 20 carries every Sunday. So
yeah, I think he has the perfect weight. How long does it before they burn out though? That's my concern. I think Ashton Genty's going to be nasty for like 2 years, 3 years, and then I think it might be over after that. I don't know. He's just taking a lot of hits. He's not that big.
I mean, how big do you want him to be? You want him to be 235?
Hold on. To play the style that he plays, where it's breaking tackles, it's trucks, it's stiff arms, it's between the tackles. He's a power back. To play that style, yes, you got to be 6'1", 225, 230 to play that style. I'm not saying a guy that size can't be productive and can't be a good player, but those are perimeter guys. Those are speed guys like Christian McCaffrey. A bunch of the guys we're going to talk about later today. If you work the perimeter more and you're fast, then yes, that size is fine. But if you're a power player and you bring the physical contact on every play the way that Genty does and has already been doing for carry after carry, yard after yard for his whole career, I have concerns, man. That stuff, that those guys, that disappears overnight sometimes. Or if he's going to get hurt, or yeah.
I think he'll be a top 5 running back next year. Definitely think so.
Okay. Tay's not having none of it.
Nah.
Crew, what do you think, man?
I was the biggest, one of the biggest fans of Genty this entire.
Hey, we all loved him on this show. Like, there's no.
But I wanted him to win Heisman.
Yes, we
fully
all
supported.
Did,
so
but this is a different conversation now.
I mean, it is, but like it also isn't. Like the league is an interesting place. That's probably the nicest way I can say it. And there's a lot of players in the NFL who have succeeded that I thought I'm surprised at some of them. So, taking nothing away from anybody else, I think Genty is well talented enough, and he's got everything he needs to be a really good back in the league. And really in this era, that's all you need is to be really good. Like you don't have to be like extraordinary. You ain't got to be Barry Sanders. Really, you ain't got to be that.
He was Barry Sanders.
So
he literally was Barry Sanders.
Good point.
College, yes, but I mean,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they're really close,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. College for sure. No, college for sure. But I mean, like, but in this era, you don't have to be Barry Sanders to succeed.
Yeah.
It's people, you know what I'm saying, barely cracking 1,000 yards, and everybody's like, yo, this is elite back. This is elite. I see people say that, especially in the media. So it's like, you don't have to be that. If Genty can go out there and get you 1,200, 1,300 yards rushing, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has to go to a team. As far as where he goes and who he goes to, I think he'll go higher than in that 20-something range. I think he'll be in more in like the 10.
I think you're right. The conversation is, should he? Is that
absolutely? God damn it! You don't be that close to winning the Heisman and not get. Come on, man. I mean, I understand there's a lot of
you guys
players that can go, but you gotta give my man some credit here. Come on now, he's going to get drafted. I think he should. I've been told right now that someone better put them on right now. I don't know if there's somebody in the waiting room or not, but I'm just reading the text. I was reading a text, so I figured I'd let it be known. But no, look, man, I support Genty way too much to say he shouldn't anything. He well deserving of being drafted top 10, 15, whatever. So like I said, like, and plus you never know. Same way you sitting there saying, like, will it translate? Like he could go in there and turn the whole league upside down. You just don't know. Like, we never know until we actually sometimes we know, but for the most part, we don't know until we see it. You got to see it like up close first, and then you give him them first couple games. He might go out there and run for 250. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You never know.
I think he will, especially if he goes to one of those teams I named. I'm just saying I don't know if that's going to be happening by year 3.
I mean, a short shelf life for a lot of people in the NFL, right? I mean, being honest,
it's true.
So I mean, it's a physical game.
But if that's the read on it, is that the guy you're picking ahead of everybody else? That's kind of the point I'm making.
Let's be honest.
Like, who's the best draft prospect?
Look, some of those teams you said, if the Raiders were to pick him, I mean, there's no hope for the Raiders anyway. So I mean, hey, like, it's not like it's not like a failed pick. It's not like it's a bad pick.
How dare you? The veteran quarterback, man who led the league nearly in passing yardage last year, Geno Smith.
That's supposed to mean something.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll get to that. We'll be doing in a few weeks. We'll be doing the full off season. We'll wait for free agency.
I didn't need to know, like, was that supposed to mean something? Because I heard you say it.
Look, man, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying what's going on in Seattle. That's what I'm enjoying. Lee Harvey, are you going to bring? Are you going to jump in here in the sensibility raft with me?
Hell no.
You are hurting my heart because you're making me it sound like I'm talking bad about Genty, and I loved him all season, but this is a different conversation in my mind. What do you think there, Lee Harvey?
Well, it depends on fit, where he goes in the draft. If he goes to a place like LA that needs a running back, he could flourish. But if he goes somewhere like the Raiders where the offensive line is not that stable, I mean, he could struggle out the gate. But I feel like, Eric, you mentioned how deep this running back class is, but it doesn't guarantee that they'll all pop immediately or that they'll all miss immediately. It just depends on where they go, how they fit in the draft. Like, it's same with Genty, Omarion Hampton, with Quinn Allen.
Yeah.
All these guys.
Let's go around the room. Who are your guys' favorites? Who are other guys that you guys like? There's so many names to pick from in this class. Who are the guys that you fellers like? Hey, go ahead and go first. 2 or 3.
I like Travion Henderson.
Yes, sir.
State.
You already know that was going to be a Lee's pick, so I like that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But
snatch it from him. There you go.
I should have said somebody. But yeah, I like Travion Henderson a lot. I think he should have came out last year. Honestly, I don't know why he came back for another year at Ohio State, but that's one of my favorite running backs. I guess. Yeah, he didn't really think y'all were gonna win. He didn't. He didn't believe that. But yeah, I think he's a great running back. I like his speed. Like, he's one of the, like, fastest, twitchiest running backs to me in this draft. Like, I think if you need a guy, you don't have a guy, that's your guy. Like, I would like the Commanders to draft him, just a little later, like second. I would take him in the second round.
Yeah, maybe. Second end of the second round would be a beautiful place for that guy.
He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite running backs, in the class, and
that's what'll be interesting too, is to watch the chess game with this. There's so many on the board, but, like, when do the runs happen? Is there somebody special that the people actually like? So then, in a way, are people going to be getting overdrafted because people want to get in there and get their guy? Like, there's a lot, man. It's going to be very, very interesting. Who's your next guy there, Tay?
I got one more. I like Damian Martinez from Miami.
I was just looking at him. Yeah,
playing alongside Cam Ward. Like, I feel like he's going to be an impact player off rip. Like, he's going to be the perfect power, to someone's speed. Like,
6 foot, 220, 540 or 450.
Yeah, he's the best power back in the class. It's like if you need a backup running back, that can like 4th and 1s, goal line touches, stuff like that. This is your guy. Like, he got a whole bunch of carries at Miami. They gave him the ball like 15, 20 times a game. He was
514 career carries, but 6.2 yards per carry, over 500 carries.
Yeah, he's hard to tackle.
He's
very hard to tackle. So I think he's an automatic impact player on really any team, especially if you're missing that goal line touch, or that power back. You'll definitely hear Damian Martinez's name because he can fill that role perfectly.
A little bit too. Let me do a little bit on Travion Henderson. Guy's probably the best in the class, maybe right there with Caleb Johnson as far as vision, as far as like reading zone blocking schemes, hitting the hole, planting his foot, and going up in there. 4.4, 240, probably plays faster, 7.1 yards per carry for his career. Just my goodness gracious. Over 1,000 yards last year. He can catch it out of the backfield real well. We saw him do that. There's just nothing this dude can't do. A little bit undersized. I don't know if he's going to be your feature back, but he's definitely going to be a weapon in somebody's offense. Travion Henderson, depending on where he goes, could be a lot of dynasty drafts number 1 overall pick this year. The ability to be an instant producer, an instant, I would not be at all surprised. Travion Henderson, if he goes to the right place, he's going to be 1,200 total yards and 12 touchdowns next year. Like, between catching, running, just all the different dangerous ways that he could be used. I would not at all be surprised to see that. Lee, now that Tay snaked probably one of your top 2 guys, give us 2 or 3 guys that you like.
Okay. 3 guys that I like. I like Judkins.
Let's say take the other one. Hey man, that guy, it was a big deal when he came over for a reason. It wasn't quite the spectacular situation that everybody thought it was going to be. He still had 1,000 yards and 5.5 yards a carry. It wasn't like it was bad.
Right.
Boy, that Chip Kelly offense. Good Lord. Hey, that might be a factor as well, though. We were talking about the Raiders. Chip Kelly's their offensive coordinator now. And what he likes to do is run the hell out of the ball. So, they might take 2 running backs up high.
That is very possible, especially Genty in the first round and Judkins in the second round. That can definitely happen. Second guy is Cam Scatterboo.
Yes, sir.
That dude was an absolute dog.
So I have an interesting scenario for you. We've been all, obviously there's been a lot of buzz around what the 49ers have been up to this week. One of the people they cut was Kyle Juszczyk. A lot of people were saying during that playoff run towards the end of the season, man, that Cam Scatterboo, I don't know what he's going to be as a feature running back, halfback in the league, but damn, does he play a whole hell of a lot like a Kyle Shanahan fullback.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because that was the first thing I thought. They cut Kyle Juszczyk. I threw a little party at my house, and then, I started thinking, like, damn, man, like Cam Scatterboo, 3rd round, 4th round, top of the 4th round, maybe. And then, use him for his multiplicity, have him in there at fullback, because what he showed time and time again, that dude does not give a fuck. He will do whatever he is asked to do, and he will bring the fucking wood on every fucking play, regardless. A guy who got so much use in college too, that will help preserve him. You know, if he gets 3 catches and 8 carries a game, if he gets 12 touches a game for the Niners, but you know, people have to account for him.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a very serious weapon, extend his career. I think that'd be a phenomenal. I think that would be a phenomenal long-term situation for him. But go ahead, give us your read on Cam Skattebo.
Oh, and also throw in a little trick pass here every now and then.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That dude could actually throw the football too.
Yeah.
But and my third running back, it may surprise you guys, Taj Brooks.
Okay.
Because at Texas Tech, they're not known to run the football. But
yeah, no, I know you're talking about. He's front of the front page.
But he was guaranteed 100+ yards rushing every week. And I feel
even in an offense where they don't really run the ball like that.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's
right. And I feel like
5.5 yards a carry, 1,500 yards in that Texas Tech offense. Yeah, that's very impressive, man.
And name a guy who's on that offensive line for Texas Tech.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel you.
And he's my third guy just because of that, and I feel like whoever gets him will get a diamond in the rough.
True. What do you got for us, man? Who are your guys?
Since nobody has mentioned him, I'm gonna say Omarion Hampton.
I was waiting for somebody to bring him up. God damn, they're talking about the Cowboys might pick him at number 12 or whatever.
You know what I'm saying? But I have love. I'm gonna go with Jordan James too. I know that's probably not gonna be the top of the food chain in terms of running backs, but I like what I saw from Jordan James. I think he's a talented back, and it's a lot of choices. I'm just trying to make sure because I probably would have mentioned Henderson or Judkins, but then I remember whose team they play for on this podcast, so I won't. It's tough. It's tough. It's a loaded. I mean, we throw out Caleb Johnson. I ain't really gonna mention Caleb Johnson. I feel like that's too obvious. Oh man, maybe like
all I know is all you got to hear is Caleb Johnson's name, and you're like, that guy's going to be a good fucking running back.
No,
whether he was white or black, that is a running back name right there.
No, if he was white, I feel like he'd be a receiver. I don't know why, but I feel like white Caleb's are like some receivers and shit. It's like you got Cooper Kupps, Caleb Johnson. Yeah. It just fits.
Yeah, I got you.
And that, but a black dude named Caleb Johnson, absolutely. You running the ball. That's pretty much. There's nothing else to it. You running the ball. But yeah, I guess I'll go with Dylan Sampson maybe.
SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was gonna throw him in if nobody else.
Okay, I was trying to go with guys I didn't think you like. Yeah. You would go like you would name. I mean, because I knew you already knew somebody's gonna name Omarion at some point. So, but I'll go with those three. Like you said, it's such a deep. This is such a deep like collection of backs, and it's so much talent. But I got a lot of respect for the three that I named. Enjoy watching them, and I think their talent. I don't know. I feel like I feel like Hampton could. That's a RB1 in my opinion. That's an RB1.
Yeah, that might be the number one guy in the class. 6 foot. Omarion Hampton, 6 foot, 225, 4.45 40, over 1,650 rushing yards, 6 yards to carry, 15 rushing touchdowns, 40 receptions, which is a lot for a college running back, especially one who had that much production rushing the ball. Omarion Hampton, any other year, it's not even a conversation. This is the number one back in the class. This is a bad dude who produced in a pro-style running offense, has all the size you could want, has all the speed you could want, has all the production you could want. He's an A+ grade in every single way for a draftable running back. Tay, any thoughts on Omarion Hampton?
I was on YouTube. I was watching some film, on the running backs. Amari Hampton, he wasn't fun to watch. Like I didn't say wow. I wasn't. Oh
Fun.
wow,
Very
good
fun.
job.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
bet you.
say
You know
that.
what else was? You know what else wasn't fun? Trying to tackle him.
Yeah. Like he's not your fun back. Jump over people and all that. He's not your fun back, but I think he'll be good. Like, I do think he's the second best running back in the class. If you want to take him in the first round, like if you're one of those teams that has everything you need, really, and you're just going for best available, you could go for it. Especially if you desperately need a running back. So yeah, I think Amari Hampton's pretty good. He's just not your, not the most fun. He has names kind of boring too. Just nothing really fun about
This is
him. But
crazy.
I think
This
his
is a
game
crazy
pretty
thing.
good.
These are crazy things that are being said. So what's dangerous about that situation is if Genty goes, high for a running back, Omarion Hampton, with all of that grading that we just talked about, he might be the guy in the 20s. And if he goes to the Commandos or the fucking Chiefs, God forbid, fuck my life. The Chiefs, if he goes to the Chargers, oh my God. If Omarion Hampton goes to the fucking Chargers, number one pick in everybody's fucking dynasty league.
Yeah, definitely.
Dead ass. Like there's nothing else with the way they want to run the ball out there, with the lack of weapons they have out there. That's going to be a match made in heaven. And so that's what's dangerous about that situation. So I'll pick a couple since we kind of already covered Caleb Johnson. I mean, damn, man, 6 foot, 6'1", 225, 228, 4'5", legitimate feature back, vision, decisive cuts, great feet, delivers the blow, like anything and everything that you could ever want out of a running back prospect. Like this guy's going to deliver it. Some team's going to get very lucky. Again, it's a terrifying thought with how deep it is and everything that could happen in the draft. This guy could end up on a team like the Chiefs or like the Chargers or, a team like that where it's kind of a luxury to be able to grab him maybe a little higher than everybody else is comfortable with. And then you're in a real nasty situation, at the back end of that second round. So love me some Caleb Johnson. We brought up Dylan Sampson, SEC Player of the Year. They play some decent ball down there. He's only 5'8", 202, but he's probably the fastest running back in the class at a 4.33. 1,500 rushing yards, 22 rushing touchdowns, 6 yards a carry. Just an electric player in the backfield for Tennessee against those SEC defenses. He's a track guy. Was a finalist at Tennessee State track finals in high school. It's exceptional burst. Clocked in at 23 miles per hour during games. I mean, this is a fucking house call waiting to happen in the NFL. Speaking of guys that I think the 49ers will find to be tempting, I would not be surprised if we saw a Dylan Sampson sighting possibly in the third round for the Niners. Again, depending on just how the thing flows and how things go throughout the draft. A lot of boards have him 4th, 5th, 6th, possibly best running back. So it just depends on when the run is. Usually you're talking about your 5th running back, you're talking mid 4th round. So to be able to get a guy like Dylan Sampson like that, possibly 5th round, 4th round, shows how crazy this draft is. Somebody nobody brought up, and I want to make mention of, it's a basketball school. I understand that, but like the all-time career leading rusher of Kansas University is the number 8th ranked running back on a lot of boards.
He's so
Devin
good.
Neal. Yeah,
He's so
and he
good.
is damn good. Devin Neal, 5'3", 215, 4.5 40. Can catch 25 receptions, 16 rushing touchdowns, 6 yards per carry, 1,300 yards. Again, all-time career leading rusher for Kansas. Did it every single year. Followed up year after year with fantastic production. Phenomenal vision, phenomenal feet, phenomenal stop and cut through the hole. 3-time all Big 12 recognition. The dude is gross production, gross abilities, and you might be able to get him in the 5th fucking round. Devin Neal, love him. Around the room, real quick, just because, goddamn, we're Jordan James, another one that True mentioned. Again, a little bit undersized, but the production is there. 30 receptions, 5.5 yards a carry, 1,300 yards up there at mighty Oregon. Despite the fact that they always do a platoon up there, a ton of guys. He got on the field a lot, performed. Got his production in the Big Ten, going against Big Ten defenses every week. Has great burst. Top end speed isn't quite as much as other guys, but damn, the guy has great patience, great vision, very, very productive. Love me some Jordan James. And again, he's like a 10th ranked guy on a lot of boards. You're going to be able to get him fucking, who knows, 5th round, just amazing wealth. Around the room. So does anybody have like a sleeper? You named your top couple guys. Tay, do you have a sleeper? They're all sleepers in this fucking class because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you already said them. I think Devin Neal's a sleeper too.
Yeah.
Like when you watch Devin Neal, like I think he has the best vision in the class. Like there wasn't a play I watched where I felt like he picked the wrong hole. So I really do like Devin. I like what he did at Kansas. Just versatile in every way. He's pretty fast too. So yeah, I think Devin Neal's a sleeper too. Like I would definitely be down for a guy like Devin Neal.
What's funny is we're all the way at sleepers right now, right? And we haven't even talked about the 2 dudes who are on the cover of the fucking video game. The 2 guys who we came into the season saying these are generational running backs, Ollie Gordon and Donovan Edwards. Nasty fucking business. Their seasons didn't quite go. Listen to that. Listen to fucking. He's laughing over there just because this class is so fucking crazy. Donovan Edwards, Ollie Gordon, a little bit different players. Edwards' production went way, way down this year. He had to share the backfield. Things didn't quite go the way they wanted it to out there. But, he was high ranked for a reason coming into the year. Can he get that back? Some team's going to get some value. Ollie Gordon, again, he ended up being kind of a one-man army that hey, this will make you smile. That Ohio State team didn't quite end up being what we all thought it was going to be. But Ollie Gordon, 6'2", 230, 4'5", very, very productive player throughout his career. Just insane. Lee, sleeper.
Sleeper, LaQuint Allen at Syracuse.
Yep. Damn fine player.
Yeah, for real. I don't know what he did previously, but he peaked.
He's a really good route runner out of the backfield. Good hands. Real good, real effective in the passing game.
That's why he's my sleeper, because I think he led the country in catches and receiving yards for running backs.
Yep.
And you already know he's good running, and he did some good work in pass protection too. So that's my sleeper in this draft, LaQuint Allen.
So I already brought the 2, but there's 2 other guys I just wanted to make sure I mentioned. And it's funny. It's funny because I already know. I know that Lee's going to react to this one because it's going to be like, oh yeah, him too. Fucking, we didn't mention DJ Giddens down there at Kansas State.
Yeah.
6 foot, 215, 1,400 yards rushing, 6.7 yards a carry, baby. Can catch it out of the backfield. 4.42. You got a guy at 6 foot, 215 going 4.42. 6.7 yards a carry, can catch the ball as well. Just a home run hitter. Late bloomer, doesn't have a ton of tread on the tires. It's the highest yards per carry average in Big 12 history. with somebody with 200 carries or more. Big time production, big time home run hitter. I love DJ Giddens. And then another guy, hold on a second, who kind of broke open the combine, big overall score, Bashal Tutin, 5'10", 210, ran 4.31, 1,200 yards rushing, 6.5 yards a carry, 15 touchdowns, 25 catches. Another guy who improved every single year. Great kick returner, great vision as a runner, and a guy who, with how deep this thing is, big time explosive acceleration, great hands, can hit the perimeter. You might be able to get this guy in like the 6th round. Like, it's just so crazy.
And don't nobody catch Tootin in the open field too.
No, he's a big time breakaway runner. Bashal Tutin, remember it. When the name comes up in the 5th or 6th round. True, do you guys sleeper?
I was gonna name one of the names you just named, so don't really.
Well, tell us why.
matter,
Tell us
but-
who is why. You can pick the same guy.
No, I'm not picking the same guy. It's not how I want to do it. So I'm gonna go with my guy. He used to be at Arkansas. He was at South Carolina this past season. My man.
Yeah, I know who it is. Yep.
Yeah, Raheem Saunders, I believe.
Yep.
Rocket.
Definitely, he definitely has a lot of potential. Definitely has a lot of potential, and I don't necessarily know how well, like we were talking about earlier about translating over to the big leagues, as they say. But I thought he showed at Arkansas. I know he said he had an injury. I'm pretty sure he had an injury one of those years when he moved to South Carolina. But when he was at Arkansas, I want to say it was like maybe 2 years ago. He had amazing season. He had an amazing season. So
1,500 yards, 6.7 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns, 30 catches. Nasty business.
Insane. So I think, it's always an adjustment when you go from one school to the next. But I thought he did a really good job out there in South Carolina. I thought he was a good dual threat also. I don't have his numbers in front of me in terms of what he did receiving, but I'm pretty sure he did.
30 catches. He's a good receiver out of the backfield.
Yeah, so he was everything you needed. And I would have also mentioned Damian Martinez. I know Tay mentioned him as one of his top players, but he would be a sleeper for me because I haven't heard his name referenced. Tay's actually the first person I heard reference his name and like the top of
this process. Yeah.
So
Raheem Sanders, another. I liked him too. I was just, there's so many to fucking name. I'm glad you did. 6'1", 225, 4.45. So that amount of size was still that level of speed. Can still catch it out of the backfield. Had that massively productive season a couple of years ago for the Razorbacks. Just out of control. All freshmen, all SEC as a freshman, all SEC 2022 Walker Award preseason list. A bunch of a guy who would be, a top 3 prospect in any other year. He's down here on most boards, ranking between 13th and 15th. And a lot of drafts you don't even see the 13th through the 15th running back even get picked. And this dude in other years would have been a top 5 guy. So again, it just speaks to this draft class is fucking incredible for the running backs. To me, picking one anything above number 20 is fucking wild as fuck. And I think you're going to see some teams' fortunes get swung in this thing. Some team that is real strong is going to get at least one of these guys, or maybe 2. And then we're going to be in fucking trouble. I already know the Chiefs are going to get a good one. That just because the Chiefs nailed the draft. I know the fucking Ravens are probably going to get one. I know the Commanders are probably going to get one because now Adam Peters is running their staff up there, their scouting department. I know all those teams, and they're already good, are probably going to snag somebody who's a fucking beast out of this group. I wouldn't be surprised, even though they just gave Barkley the big extension. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles grabbed one. for some insurance. I mean, why the fuck not? That's why the Eagles are so good. It's because they don't ever have needs. So they just draft whoever drops to them and plugs them in, and then they get to, steal these super talented players. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen either. This running back class is so phenomenally exciting. Just as exciting as what's going on over here at DAR Sports Media. There is so damn much going on. We got another Hoops Hour coming up soon because, damn it, the NBA season is closing down. The playoffs are fast approaching. We'll have more NFL draft coverage for you guys as the weeks goes on. You can count on that every single week. Me and True, obviously, WrestleMania season is upon us. So we'll be hitting you up with some more World of Wrestling sooner than later as we travel down the road to WrestleMania down there in Las Vegas. The Medium site is going fucking crazy every week. True got some crazy numbers he'd probably like to talk about. True's also now, he's a writer for Pro Football Network, so check out his articles on there. He's pumping them out left, right, front, and center.
Nice.
All kinds of good stuff.
I'm
He's
like
killing it over
95
there.
articles in. Like 95 articles in. And
95.
I got paid for it too, so I'm happy.
And then over there on United Football Media, you guys are listening to this. This is an NFL draft podcast. Well, guess what? You don't have to go without football because the United Football League is kicking off in a couple of weeks. Myself, my guy Tay, my guy True here, we host a Sports Center style show talking about the UFL, the league itself, all of the teams and everything that's going on. The United Football Media, the page that we work for, that we make these videos for, they have podcasts about every team. So you could pick a favorite team, whatever it is, whatever your area is that you're listening to this right now and you miss football, pick a team. Pick the Memphis. Well, don't pick the Memphis Showboats, but pick the Stallions. Pick the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks have a lot of recognizable players and they have a great home field advantage. Maybe you want to pick them. The San Antonio Brahmas. The San Antonio Brahmas have an awesome podcast associated with them on the United Football Media. You can pop that right in their YouTube where you listen to this. Go check it out. Or you can stick with the home team. Me and the big man Tay over there, we host the DC Defenders podcast over there on the United Football Media. And then you could ride with us every week, boosting up the DC Defenders. I would argue when it is rocking, when it is good, an even better home field advantage than the Battlehawks. Yeah, I said it because we get rowdy out there. The numbers might be the same, but we get rowdy out at Rowdy Audi. Lemons flying through the air, beer snakes are rolling. We bring the gimmicks, brother. So
I agree with
to
that.
me, that's the better home field advantage. That's right. See, ball knowers, they know what's going on. Can't mess with Rowdy Audi when it's rocking, baby. So check all of us out over there on United Football Media. True, tell them about the Medium site numbers, man. God damn.
Yeah. I really don't even know how to describe what happened over this last 4-5 months. We're closing in on our first month with over 100,000 views in 1 month on the Medium site. And we are closing in on probably our first month with 75,000 reads. Possibly 80, 85-ish, which was the views we did last month was 80,000, and we're around like 55, 60,000, which February was a short month. So I don't know. We're breaking records like daily now. I don't necessarily know. I mean, I can see the articles that are like driving the numbers, some of which I'd say pretty damn viral. And that's a big testament because although we cover sports here, it seems to be the articles that are mostly going viral are all Black culture articles, especially I guess February, also Black History Month. Those are doing insane numbers. So you can check out the Black sitcom, Black movies, Black music, anything Black on there is typically handled by me. Or shout out to Tev, he does a lot of the sports stuff. Shout out to Scotland, he does a lot of the wrestling stuff. He just did a pretty dope piece on Harlem Heat, which did some pretty good numbers as well. Shout out to Zachary, he just did one as well. I know he did one on Tony Khan. He did one on the NFL and the refereeing and officiating. So it's just so much content that we have daily, 2 to 3 articles a day, because that's that's pretty much the limit that I can handle editing and posting while also doing Pro Football Network and actually working in general. So yeah, man, I'm 100,000 views in a month is crazy, considering that there's no paid promotion behind it. There's no super push. The articles themselves on Twitter or wherever, they don't necessarily go viral. But you realize you can't see everything that's being shared. You can't see every link that of yours has been shared or been posted. So our stuff probably travels a lot further when somebody else posted besides ourselves. So I'm just grateful for that, and I hope we can continue. And eventually we'll be on this pod talking about going from 100,000 in a month to 1 million in a month. So just keep running it up, and please, if you can, go to Pro Football Network. What's Pro Football and Sports Network now, as I cover NFL, WNBA, NBA, and WWE, and possibly MLB for them. Still in a conversation with 2 other potential places to write forward to. I mean, there's a tagline that closes the show, and
tell you what,
I mean, right now, that's where it's at right now, and I just want to say, I'm not the person to be like, I told you so, motherfucker. I told you so. I'm really not that person. But I told you, motherfuckers. Told you so.
I doubt that claim. I doubt that claim very much, but
me? I never. I've never been. Typically, I'm not.
We'll do what? Someday, True, we'll do a whole, when we're real big, we'll do a whole podcast, just me and you, and we'll talk about where shit was when we started.
But that's the beauty of it. I say this while we record this. That's the beauty of it, is that the beginnings, the start of when we just had a group chat of us just like, all right, who's doing this or who's not. And shout out to YouTube Shorts. The YouTube Shorts are doing phenomenal, and they're growing, and it just means a lot. It means a lot to have a number of us be able to actually go to real games and cover those games and have that type of stuff. That means a lot, because there was a time where I was fighting for my fucking life. And that's just honest. I was fighting for my fucking life. And I had a lot of people who's trying to keep me from getting to a spot. But you can't hold the real ones down.
That's what's weird about it. Like I said, we could record a real
there's a lot
pod episode just about that. But what's weird about it is it's like it was like when hyenas smell like cooking meat or something. There was people coming around trying to fuck with shit and trying to bury shit just because you were down. And it was why? Like, people we never even interacted with. They had nothing to do with. They're like, I don't know.
Some people were sent to do that, and it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. They just didn't know who they was fucking with. They didn't know what type of team this is. They didn't know who they was fucking with. And now they know. And they're going to continue to know. And that's it.
They're going to know more and more as the fucking weeks and months go on. If you were somehow listening to this and you are not subscribed, please sub. We're coming up on some cool milestones pretty soon. We appreciate everybody who's thrown subs lately. And please, if you have not, hit that sub button. We appreciate you. Man, as you can tell, and what's crazy is it's almost like kind of like a down, at least for this page, to be the content how fast the content's usually coming out for us. It's a little bit slower right now just because of the way things are, even though we are still recording 4 fucking podcasts a week. We're just doing 2 of them for another page. But now more than so what I'm trying to say is all the success that's happening right now, it's during a downtime for us, really. Once shit's gonna really get rolling here pretty soon. And then more than ever, and right now, the world of DAR cannot and will not, it never stops.